Hello, my name is Johannes. I'm working in the product marketing at Lemken. I'm responsible for the seating combinations and power harrows. And today I want to explain you our front hopper Solitaire F, Zircon 12K power harrow and Optidisc 25K seating bar. And at first, let's start with the general information about our front hopper Solitaire F. Here we see our Solitaire F front hopper. We have three versions. This is a version with 2,400 liters hopper volume as a divided hopper with a 60-40 split. We also have a single hopper version with 2,400 liters, and we have a smaller hopper version with 1,900 liters, also as a single hopper. We have always a pressure system. That means we have a pressure resistant cover and a cover lid in it. That is make sure that we have always a good seat transportation. We have our sensor for the filling height of the hopper. We can set it in three positions depending on the seat you are seating. For example, if you are seating rape seats, you can put it on the lowest position, and if you have beans, for example, you can put it on the highest position. That you always make sure to have the right signal for an empty hopper. Here you can see our module dosing unit. At this machine we have 2 dosing units per hopper part. That means we have all in all 4 dosing units on this front hopper. Depending on the configuration you have chosen, you could have also 2 module units for the smaller hopper and 4 dosing units for a single hopper also. So the big hopper is always equipped with 4 module dosing units. The dosing unit is very well known from other new pneumatic seat drills at Lemken. It's very comfortable in handling. It's a system of a dosing unit, a dosing rotor or rotor shaft, and the bottom flap. That's important to calibrate and set the machine. Depending on the seats you want to dose, you can change very comfortable without tools the dosing rotor. For example, this is a standard, a normal dosing rotor for bigger amounts of seats. It's also possible to have smaller dosing rotors with smaller fields in it. You can have a look on these 2 versions. You also have the possibility to change the dosing rotor within full hopper. For example, if you have made a mistake with a calibration test or something else, you can put a stainless steel inlet in it, and you can change the dosing rotor even with a full hopper. Every dosing unit is electrically driven with separately, so you can shut off every dosing unit separately. And every dosing unit is fertilizer resistant. That's also very important to know if you want to use the front hopper with fertilizer, for example, because it's not only possible to use the front hopper with the seating bar, you could also use it with a precision seat drill for example, to seat corn or other seeds. Calibration test can be done from the left side of the machine. It's very easy to handle. To make all the settings in the tractor cabin. Then you can have 2 options to start the calibration test at this point. Standard version is this small button. You can push it to start the pre-calibration or the normal calibration test. A little bit more comfortable is this calibration terminal. For example, with this terminal you can put the result of your weight in directly, and then you can start. You don't have to go upstairs in the tractor cabin to put the figures after the weight in the tractor terminal. But in my opinion, the most comfortable way is the one with the IQ Blue Go app. This small app can create a connection to the Solitaire F, and then you can start then you can start the calibration test very comfortable with your smartphone or your tablet. You can put the calibration trace out from this side for both sides of the machine, so you don't have to switch the side for the calibration, and this is very comfortable. Here we see one version of the front area in our front hopper. At this machine we have equipped with a front tire packer roller. As you can see, we have a very big diameter of tires in the front of the machine. That means the machine is very low above the soil surface. That makes it very comfortable for the driver of the tractor to have a good look in front of him. So that the reason for that is that we have the front tire packer roller in front of the dosing unit. So we have big tires. They are not set in the row. They are they have a little offset to break the soil. If you have light soil, with this system we can break the soil wave even in very light soil, and that is also very important to know. Also, we have a steering device, so it's possible to that the tire packer roller can steer a little bit up to 10 degrees in every direction. That is very comfortable if you are using the tractor GPS, for example, and you are driving a curve, and then the tires are going with the curve, and you don't have to reset the GPS even in curves. The tire packer roller has a weight of 350 kilogram. It's also, as an option, possible to have 500 kilos more additional weight on top of the tire packer roller. And also very important to know is that we have a small frame, connecting frame, that you can use the tire packer roller and the weights as an additional machine in combination with your tractor without the front hopper. So you can have the tire packer roller in front of the tractor, for example, and behind you have a power harrow with 3 meters, for example, to do the seedbed preparation in springtime. And then you have a perfect reconsolidation between the tractor axle. Even also, there's the same argument for the tire packer roller in combination with the front hopper. You have a good reconsolidation between the tractor axle, and in combination with the Solitaire F front hopper, don't have a lot of weight while driving on the field, because the weight is with the tire packer roller on the soil surface. So you have not as much weight on the front axle of the tractor. Also, very important to know is you can have as an option category 2 3-point linkage in front of the front hopper. The reason for that is that you can have the option to put your weight from a standard tractor in front of the front hopper. That means you could use a standard weight up to 800 kilogram. You can put it on the front hopper for an optimum placement of the weights for the front and back combination. But let's have a look in the inside of the hopper. Yeah, now you can see it's very comfortable. Upstairs here we have a small area where we can stand comfortable for all the settings or to check the machine. On the first view here you can see our sieves inside of the hopper. That's very important to have if you are working with fertilizer and there are some clots in it, and you don't want to have this big pieces in the dosing unit, then you can sieve them out with this part here. This version, as I mentioned before, is the big hopper with 2,400 liters hopper volume, divided in 60% and 40%. Both sides are equipped with 2 dosing units. You can put them up, and here you can see the 2 dosing units on the lowest part of the hopper. But it's also very important to know what we made for the seed transport or the fertilizer transport from the front hopper to the seeding bar in the back of the tractor. As you can see here, we have a double hopper and we have a double shot seeding bar in the back of the tractor. That means we have 4 hoses and 4 pipes going backwards. It's also possible to have, if you have a small hopper with 2 sections in the back, that you have, of course you have 2 dosing units, so we have 2 tubes and 2 hoses going to the back. And if you have a big hopper with 2,400 liter capacity and single shock mode, you have a Y piece here and 2 stainless steel tubes going to the backwards. Very important to know is we made a lot of improvements in our air and transport system. That means we are using a lot of stainless steel, because that didn't absorb so much energy in the system. We created very, very good parts for very good airflow in the system. And as you can see here, as I mentioned before, we are using stainless steel for the transport tubes. And this is also in a standard version, that we have the seat transport on the right-hand side of the tractor. It's also possible to connect the machine, the front hopper with the back machine, with a tube or with the hoses underneath the tractor. But in standard, it's the equipment on the right-hand side of the tractor. As you can see here, we made a system that you can easily mount the whole system very comfortable on the side of the tractor. And that makes it very comfortable to switch, for example, the machine. If you want to use the tractor for another work on the field, then you can adjust it very easily. So that were the most important points about our front hopper and the tubes, the stainless steel tubes between the tractor front and the back. And now it's, as you all know, we have our Power Harrow Zircon 12 and our OptiDisc seating bar in the back of the tractor. Of course, you want to know some more points about that machines, and as the easiest way is that we are going from the front to the back. That means I want to explain you now something about the Zircon 12K Power Harrow. 12K Power Harrow. That means this machine is connected in the 3-point linkage of the tractor. We have working space, working widths from 4 meter to 6 meter in the K version. Yeah, very important to know is, like we have on all Power Harrows at Lemken, we have 4 rotor shafts per meter working with. That means we have a very good crumbling effect, even in heavy soil conditions. And the special setting of the tines makes it sure that we have a very good soil flow through the machine. As you can see here, we have a quick change, a very easy quick change system to change the tines. And as you can see here, we have tines with hard metal plates on it. That means that we have a very good wear resistance. And the benefit of this system is that we don't have any change in the length of the tines. That means the whole working life of the tines, the length of the tines isn't changing. That means even if you want to go deep, you can use the full material, and that is very good even in stony conditions. You have always the same distance between the gearbox of the Power Harrow and the solid surface, so the stones can go very easily through this system. With this Power Harrow, we can use it with tractors up to 400 horsepower, depending on the working width. We have a gearbox that you can change the turning direction of the tines. You can have them in a very more aggressive way and a little bit more in the other turning direction, depending on the result you want to create on your soil surface. We have a roller with a diameter of 500 millimeters. It's a Trapezi Pucker roller. It's also possible to have a Trapezi Pucker roller with 600 millimeter diameter. Depending on the soil you have, if you have more lighter soil, you should use the bigger diameter. If you have heavier soils, you also can use the smaller versions. It's also important to know about the weight, because the bigger diameter, of course, has a little bit more weight as the smaller version. Yeah, very important for the combination with the OptiDisc seating bar is the 3-point linkage. So as you can see here, we have a 3-point linkage here. That means we can lift with this system, we can lift up to 3 tons. You could have, as we have here in this example, you can connect the OptiDisc 25 seating bar, or if you want to use the Power Harrow separately during springtime, for example, you can mount other machines behind this Power Harrow. It's very important to know about that we have always, for every distributor head, we have one dosing unit in the front, or in the front hopper. That means if you want to use, for example, section control, then the dosing unit in the front is shut off, and this section doesn't get any more seats, so this section is shut off. As you can see here, as I mentioned before, we have a machine with a double hopper and a double shot concept. That means one side of the hopper is giving the seats to the front distributor head, and this distributor head is transporting the seats in the front inlet of the double disc Caltar. Same way on the second row of distributor heads, they are giving the component to the second inlet in the double disc Caltar. So this is a double shot system. If you have a single shot system or a standard version, you will always have 2 distributor heads per side of the machine. For example, with this 6-meter machine, you will have 2 big distributor heads on the one half of the machine with a section of 3 meters. Of course, you can shut them off by hand or with the section control of the tractor. We have also an option in combination with the big front hopper. We can have the option that you can have 4 small distributor heads. They are very short above the seating bar with short distances between the distributor head and the seating bar. That makes sure that you have a very good lateral distribution of the seats about the whole working width. Yeah, our tramline system is also very unique. We have at this we have some clips in the distributor head. You can change the height of the track width with changing some clips in it. It's possible to shut off up to 5 rows per distributor head for very wide track width. Then we have 2 rings. If you start the tramline system, the ring is going up and down and is shutting off the hoses which are seating a tramline. We don't have to make sure where we are going with the seats in tramline system, because if we have a tramline system, we start seating a tramline, the dosing unit in the front is turning slower so that we have a lower seat rate here at the back when we are seating a tramline. That's very important to know. And as you can see here, we have some sensors on the hoses. You can have different options. You can have 1 sensor just to check if seats are going through the distributor. You can have 2 sensors to check if seats are going through the distributor and if the tramline system is working. And of course, you can have a full seat control sensor system. But in this case, we want to check the general setting of the distributor head and the tramline system. Here you can see our seating bar. Very important to know is how are we doing the seat placement, the depth of the seat placement. That is very easy. We have this 3-point linkage here over there, the 3-point linkage of the power harrow, and with the top link, we are doing the seat depth calibration, or we are doing the setting of the seating depth. If we are going with the top link, if we make it smaller, the machine is going down in the front, and we are going deeper with the seating. If we are making the top link longer, the double disc Caltars will go out of the soil a little bit, and we are seating a little bit more flat. So that is very easy to handle, just with this top link on top of the machine. We have our OptiDisc M double disc Caltar system. That means we have a mechanical seat pressure system. You can do it with in a very easy way with a tool to set the pressure of the system. It's also possible to have the OptiDisc H with up to a 70 kilogram Caltar pressure. And with this system, it's very comfortable to set the Caltar pressure out of the tractor cabin. Just touching the terminal, in 10 steps you can adjust the seating pressure. In general, every time the same is that we have a double disc Caltar. Every double disc Caltar is running in the same row like a ring of the trapeze roller, so that we have a very good reconsolidation where we want to place the seats. Then in this area we place the seats, and we have also the option that we can change a little bit the seating depth of the second row of the second inlet. With this PVC plastic part, you can turn it easily toolless, and then you can create another seating depth for the second row. It's also possible to adjust the machine in this way that we can have a different sealing depth in every second row. But in general, it's always the same. We have this double disc coulter. We have this pressure wheel, or this wheel behind, to give a very good reconsolidation on top of the seats for very good seat to soil contact after the seating process. If we have a look to the very back point of the machine, we have this harrow after the wheel. We have this is a single harrow. You can adjust it in 4 steps to create a very smooth soil face for a very good emergence, feed emergence after the seating process. As you can see here, you can put the single harrow in a parking position. Then you have the very well-known soil face after a Lemken seating combination. Hopefully I could answer all the questions you had. If you have more questions, feel free to contact your dealer, our Lemken colleague in the area, or just answer or just write the question down under this video. See you soon in the next video.